An extra agenda? I can't, my email's not downloading for me.
Marie's got one.
Mhm.
And then I took the other.
Yeah, this one.
Okay.
You got this.
Okay, welcome everybody. We'll start our meeting. I've got a motion moved by Councillor Lafferty, seconded by Councillor Hassan, that council adopt the agenda of regular meeting RM01-2020 unless somebody has some additions or changes. Okay, I've got one. I would like to add 11D, call it papal flag. And I'll explain when we get there. Any other changes, additions? All right, so that council adopts the agenda of regular meeting RM01-2020 as amended. All in favor? 5 and 4, none against. Motion's carried. Any declarations of interest in any of the items? None noted. Councillor absences, we do have Councillor Rowe. Anybody know of any other councillors that indicated they would not be able to attend tonight? All right, so we'll put Councillor Rowe down. A motion moved by Councillor Hassan, seconded by Deputy Mayor Antoine, that council excuse Councillor Rowe from regular meeting RM01-2020. All in favor? 5 in favor, none against. Motion's carried. We have no delegations this evening. We do not have any minutes tonight either. Mayor's report. I do not have our mayor's report tonight. Is there an SAO report?
No.
Okay. Tabled items in old business. We do not have any. Committee minutes and recommendations. We have none this evening. Under new business, we have item 11B, since A was canceled, which is the LKFN Film Festival Community Hall rental forgiveness request. And I've got a motion moved by Councillor Hassan, seconded by Deputy Mayor Antoine, that the request of LKFN to have the community hall rental fee waived be approved. I'll put it to you that way. Any discussion on that item? Yes.
What is the film festival community hall rental?
There's a letter attached.
Okay, that's this letter. Okay, my miscarriages. Yes, I was reading that. Matt, I thought that was the same thing as the Christmas celebration.
Right. So it's, it's kind of a non-profit type of event there, meant to.
I still have a problem with not recording that we give the hall away.
Right.
We pay people to clean it after the function's over. I'm not asking the people, and I'm not saying we should give any money, but we have to record it somewhere.
Should we at least keep like a separate tally of the amount, perhaps, if it doesn't appear in our financial statements, because
Well, it actually
no
is,
actual-
it's 2 line entries. One is under donations and the other is in hall rental.
right,
Instead of getting $500 in hall rental,
right,
you get the donation thing. And
Right.
that's all it is. So that
Yeah.
instead of us having $10,000 in donations, like these hall rentals are running up to, I have no idea, $500,
Yeah.
right,
$300 to $500.
yeah,
Every week we have at least one of those, so we're giving away 1,000. We're giving away another $12,000
right,
in forgiveness that we're not crediting ourselves for, and that's all it is. We're not getting credit for what we do.
right. We can't say.
That's
at the
all
end
it
of
is.
the
It's like
year.
it's not like we're ripping the community off or anything. It's just like we aren't recording the donation, and that's my problem with that in the discussion.
Right,
Unless somebody else has anything else to say. But I mean, I really seriously think we need to start implementing that somehow.
right,
I do believe,
Yeah.
I do believe we could look back over the year and pick out the events that were a donation and quantify our donation in kind that way.
That's, yeah.
I'm sure that's perfectly doable.
Because we,
So by
we
the
give
end
it
of the
away.
year-
It's $500 in lieu of money.
Yeah.
So like it's a $500 credit somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, but would you constitute it as donation to the community?
Yeah.
You know,
So-
because then you
Because it's
don't.
not necessarily lost revenue, because a lot of those,
Wouldn't be able to do it.
all rentals wouldn't go ahead if it wasn't for the. if it
But I
wasn't
mean, that
donation.
doesn't, I'm not going to argue that one, but yeah, well, we can pretend that
Yeah,
it's a rental,
Mhm.
that we're donating. So it's a $500 giveaway.
Yeah.
And we get the credit and they weren't planning on paying anyway. And so everybody's very happy.
Okay, well, with that in mind, but maybe something we can settle on later. Can I have a show of hands, all those in favor of granting the donation?
Should I
One,
vote? I'm not getting anything out of it.
no, that's right. One,
Yeah.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
Maybe a free show.
and none against, so the motion's carried. Councillor Bellefontaine has joined us. And 11C, fireworks 2019. The reason that's on there is because, well, we, as you know, we didn't have any fireworks this year. I'm not entirely sure why that didn't work out. I did talk to the fire chief, and he explained it as though we normally get funding from a not-for-profit and for the actual cost of the fireworks. And this year, that not-for-profit had changed their donations to perhaps go a different way. Now, I don't know if that was all of the reason why we didn't have the fireworks or not, but I guess I'll put it to the council that if you want fireworks in 2020, we probably have to make sure that we schedule that far enough ahead that the fire department knows what we want and that we've allocated proper monies for the fireworks and any training that needs to be done if anybody has to be on hand to light the fireworks, basically. Because did any of you know that we weren't going to have fireworks? Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I know it was brought up at a Beavertail committee that they were thinking of going joint with Deswell Go On, who usually has it, but
that's what I heard.
I think the communication broke down, you know, I don't know,
Yeah.
nothing happened, so
So maybe it's just a heads up that for this year,
somebody should take the lead and coordinate it.
Right.
You know, because I don't think the groups, like I know my group wouldn't mind contributing, but it's just, you know, who's taking the lead. Each year it's somebody different, and we gotta have some consistency.
right. And I suppose ultimately, if we really want them, we should allocate $5,000 for the fireworks for our fire department.
Yeah.
Minimum 5,000.
Yeah.
Because I think
Otherwise,
you go
we're
up to 10, 15,
5 to 10, I think is a good.
Yeah.
range.
right.
so.
So I know we don't have to decide anything tonight. I just wanted to bring that up because it's
I
just a
like it.
recent thing and we can think about that in the future. Any other discussion on that? Okay. 11D, PayPal flag contribution. I gave you a few pages there to do with a correspondence I received just today. And this individual, Marvin, and I don't want to butcher his last name there. I don't think I could pronounce it right. But he explained to me that he's been asked by a couple of friends of his to find a home for a papal flag that was used as part of the welcome when the Pope came here in 1987. And there's a picture there with all the flags. One of them is a Vatican flag. Somehow we got a hold of a Vatican flag back then to make the Pope feel a little more at home. The flag was saved, apparently, and it's been held by an individual or two here for a long time. They want to put it back to the community if we have a place to display it. They just want to make sure it has a good home. So I said I'd talk to the council tonight and see if we could accept that flag, perhaps with the idea of putting it in our little papal display area there and sort of commit to at least showing it. And it seems like it's coming with a little bit of provenance with it, like there's some pictures and the people's names who held onto the flag. So, there's nothing special about the flag except for it was part of the welcome.
Well, it is a paper flag.
Yeah,
I think that was so nice of them to do that.
yeah, they remembered.
Very nice.
One of the old guys was holding the flag is in his 90s. So I think this is part of taking care of business for him. Make sure it gets to where people really care about it.
My first blush was the Historical Society.
And it could be them too. As long as we make sure that I suppose if we take the responsibility, we can probably deal with the Historical Society, or if we don't do it ourselves, we can at least make sure that somebody in town takes care of it.
Yeah, good.
And then if that's so, if you're in agreement, I'll write a letter back on a village letterhead, just saying that we're agreeing to accept responsibility, and we'll make sure it's presented properly to the community. Yes, Deputy Mayor.
LKSF and the Métis were part of this whole event.
Yeah.
So it'd be nice to maybe just touch base with them to
See
what
how they
think.
want to do it too, right?
Well,
I
maybe
think you
just
just be
try to
courteous
just get,
to do that.
or
I'm
maybe
very
just
glad that they have.
get,
Oh, sorry about that.
Oh. But just accept.
yeah, just accept it.
And then we'll talk.
Then we
Get it
get
to
those
Fort Sims.
details out
Yeah,
after.
we'll return it,
Mhm.
repatriate the flag, and then we'll discuss how best.
If
to
they
present
say they need someplace, say, yeah, we're gonna tack it on the
it.
wall here.
Yeah,
And
that's our
The
default.
most
got
appropriate
that.
places.
then that's it. Somewhere.
Sounds good. All right, we don't have anything under 12 bylaws or correspondence and information. Council matters and concerns. Councilor McPherson, any council issues, concerns?
When was it? I was in the rec center. I think when we were getting ready for our Christmas feast and that sort. And I just sort of looked at the interior of the rec center, the gym. Like we use it for community events and stuff. It sure is looking run down. Like I think, is there any plans in the administration part to paint or just improve the interior? And then those folding doors are pretty disgusting. So I
think
just-
that there's been so much new projects to do there with the
Yeah.
HVAC and those sprinkler systems.
Yeah, that has been,
You don't want to do like a nice paint job and have it look real nice and end up tearing it all up. So I think that we can talk about that in the next stretch
Yeah,
meeting
I just
maybe
wanna
and
make-
come up with
yeah.
a plan.
make note of it because,
Mhm.
we have a lot of out of town people that come into, I see other recreation, public facilities in other communities and they're maintained quite nicely. And
Mhm.
it's kind of embarrassing.
Okay,
That's all.
all right, thank you. Councilor Hassan.
Well, thank you. I don't have anything.
Okay, Councilor Groves.
Some stuff from last year, it's been sort of sitting here bothering me a little bit. Last year, we discussed and we asked administration to remove the one-way sign down at Mark Andre Drive and Mackenzie Drive. And we were all wanted that move because it's a useless sign and it directs people the wrong way. Do we need to make a motion to fulfill that? The one-way sign.
Okay, yeah.
When you drive by the Nahanni Inn.
Yeah.
There's a one-way sign that says go the way we don't want anybody to go.
Okay, yeah.
And that sign doesn't mean anything because yes, it's one way that way, but they can still turn to the left. That sign is, and we asked for that to be removed last year and it never happened.
Councilor Grove, that arrow pointing to go to, we allow that.
Absolutely.
Right, because if you were in a rush to get to the hospital, we want you to
You
go.
can turn that way.
Yeah, it's just on your way back from the hospital, you're usually not in a rush, you should go back to the main street, right, not go down.
No, that street we designated as one way
Right,
from that point
from
on
the hospital water
to,
treatment
to,
section,
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
down.
When you go down from the Nahanni Inn
You can go either
the
way.
river, you
Yeah.
can go either way.
That's right,
However, the sign says turn right.
yeah, so get rid of it.
Remove that one sign and we don't have an issue because the one down by the hospital, it says can't go that way, stop
It's already
right here.
taken care of.
That's fine.
Yeah.
And the rest of it is that's the only place we need to remove that sign.
Right. So can we get that done? Because it's actually incorrect is what the
Yeah.
problem is, yeah.
Okay, we can do that tomorrow.
And, we asked for a presentation by the engineering on the landfill development for the solid waste or facilities. I see we now have $250,000 allotted. And I was promised that somebody would come and make a presentation to us and say why we're spending $250,000 or what we're spending $250,000 at the dump for. And like I asked for that long ago, a year ago.
But we did have an engineer come here and talk about that.
Yeah, but we just allotted $250,000 for.
It's for the composting.
Well, no, we got $250,000 allotted for the dump this year. What are we doing?
What part of the
What's the
overall plan?
$250,000 for at the dump?
The composting facility.
Can I have somebody show me what we're spending $250,000 on?
Sure.
Bring somebody to do a presentation to us is what I would like of what this $250,000 is going to do, how that's going to fix us with the water board and moving on. That's all I ask is like a presentation on that.
Oh.
And then there was another thing that I was interested in. The budget, now that it's approved, I know over the years we've had things that they just fall off the end. Like we waited for years, it sounds like, to get the cement in the curling rink. Each year it was just deleted from the budget. Okay. It is in the budget this year. Also, the artificial ice is in the budget. How do we proceed to make sure that the items we have put in our budget for this year, we stay on track?
I think that you should be getting reports as things are progressing.
Yeah, because I
And
mean, this stuff.
If you don't hear about something progressing, maybe a friendly email, just reminder, or like I think you got to bear in mind as well as there's a lot of projects in the capital plan, and I know if you look back 10, 20, 30 years, I don't think you'd ever find a year where every single project in that year actually got completed.
The problem is who decides what gets done and who doesn't gets done, and when do I just would like to know, now that I've seen a budget year.
Yeah.
I would like to know how we keep on budget, and instead of saying, okay, all of a sudden we need to spend $200,000 somewhere, well, we're going to delete this out of the approved budget. And we're going to put this $250,000 thing in there. That seems to be, we do a lot of that. I would just like to follow that up and see how we keep that stuff moving. Okay, we've approved the artificial ice, let's say.
Yeah.
When do we start that? Looking for that.
Yeah, I think for all of those projects within each department, each department head should be planning each of those projects for the year, and that's something that we touch base with when we have our directors and our staff meetings.
Okay. Okay. And the other thing I asked, how many trucks do we have?
I couldn't tell you that right now. But
How many half-ton trucks do we have?
I can get an answer.
I thought that would be a fairly simple question. I asked that last year, and it didn't seem to be all that simple.
Half-ton truck.
Half-ton trucks.
I'll just pull up your insurance.
Yeah, you should be able to look at the insurance that way.
Yeah.
You should be able to look at 100 ways, but I don't think we know how many trucks we have. And then I would like to know how many of them are operational and, like just a little logo on it. That's just some tidy up stuff that we never completed last year, and they've just been hanging on, and I would like to see them finished.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, Deputy Mayor Atwell.
The first one is that I'm really excited about that MMOS program that you guys are going to start putting in. I've worked with a similar program with housing, and it's really good. It keeps track of all your units, your buildings, and if there needs to be maintenance, it's already in there. Once you input all your information, it gives you a budget for the year. It's an excellent program. That way, you will know how much vehicles we have and what state it is, and it helps the departments make sure the maintenance is done.
For sure. I think it's gonna be a big asset.
Yeah, and it also talks about standards in different areas and different fields like plumbing and housing maintenance. So it's according to national standards. It's an excellent program. I wouldn't mind being kept abreast of what the status of that project. It's going to be really good. It's going to really help a lot. And the other thing I wanted to bring up is we talked about the fire safety. I'm still concerned about that. I think we need to come up with a plan to let our citizens know that we do have a plan if there's a fire here or here or here, and working together with us as DMO and with ENR or whatever. Because, not everybody has house insurance. I know that for a fact, but just so we're prepared and our citizens know we're doing something about it. So if there's an issue here, not half of us are on the river with their boats and gone, and you can't account for us. So there has to be something set up that is accountable for every one of our citizens. And, what's the plan? Oh, Troy and Celine are going to take their boat and they're going to go to Wrigley with their boat. We know where those two are. Kirby's going to take his truck and be on the ferry and off to Hare River. That sort of thing. I know it's a little bit, there's really good plans out there, and I sent you, I think I sent you a website about this community in BC that has a really good fire plan, because they were preparing for what was happening over in BC, and it's really good to do that. So I'm hoping maybe we could try something this year as far as a safety plan.
Yeah, and we should be reviewing the whole plan in the new year here. At least once a year, we should be going over it, so that's a good time to bring that into it.
I wouldn't mind being involved with that.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Councillor Bellefontaine, any council issues or concerns?
Just, it's that time of year again when dog licensing will be coming up. And we had talked before about maybe offering free licensing at the beginning of the year just to get people doing it, because I know we typically don't get every pet in town licensed, but we do get a lot of strays. So this would be a good way to reunite them with their families quickly. It's beneficial to the whole community. And it also helps us keep track when the vet's coming to town. We'll have a list of everybody registered and how many pets they have. We can let them know the vet will be here. It'll help us with planning how many days we need them here, stuff like that. And because it is a new year, it would be, and I know there's a lot of new pets too. So it would be a good time to get people signed up, and that way it's free of charge. And then maybe going forward, I've got a few ideas of how we could do it going into the next few years, but I think that's something we should look at doing.
Okay. I don't know if administration can just drop the license fees without a resolution.
And the new dog bylaw passed this past year specifies 1 month free
Okay.
license for, I think it was the first month for
Okay.
the month of January.
That's what we had talked about. And then
I wonder if we could advertise that though somehow with a flyer or something in the mailbox, reminding people they have that obligation to be licensing their dogs, and two, that we're offering a free, and that it also is a way that they can benefit from information about reduced price vet clinics in the future and things like that. We'll be able to get a hold of them easier if we have the registrations on hand.
We can do Facebook posts,
we think
posters up.
Okay, maybe that would be
Would you
good.
like a flyer for every household?
Flyer's cheap. I mean, it's only about $50.
Yeah.
So those three would be great.
Yeah.
Because we should have 100 registered dogs in town. I know we often don't have 10. So, okay, so administration's committed to putting it on Facebook, community website, and also doing a flyer to say exactly what you're saying. Okay. Yes, is that it? Okay, thanks, Councillor Bellefontaine. Councillor Lafferty, do you have any council issues or concerns?
No, not tonight.
All right. And we do not have any in-camera meetings or matters. All right. So then I've got a motion moved by Deputy Mayor Antoine, seconded by Councillor Groves, that council adjourn regular meeting RM01-2020 at 7:28 p.m. All in favor? 6 in favor, none against. Motion carried. Thank you. Have a great evening, everybody.
Thank you. I'm gonna take that. I didn't know it was yours.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Sorry. Thank you.
No problem.
Sean?
Yep.
Can I take this
Yeah.
back?
Yeah,
Yeah, I'll show it to Jim.
yeah, because he does mention it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. Oh, I got the colored one. Yeah.
I didn't realize it was such a black.
Oh, good. I'll switch out you this
Are you back for a while or are you leaving on Monday?
No. Oh, I'm leaving out on today's Monday.
Today's Monday, yeah. It's the first Monday.
Tuesday, Wednesday, I'm leaving. Going just for 2 days trip.
Just 2 days.
Yeah. Next meeting, I'm gonna sit on that chair.
I'm not gonna be here next meeting, so.
Oh, really? Wow.
Oh, this long meeting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We need to go for another half hour or so, so I missed bedtime.
Yeah.
How bad? The camera's still on?
Oh, it is.
That's,